Well, the map I got, it is pretty easy to do the water at least.
But let's just take a look at this because this gives you the different colors. So you were looking at the bottom here before we get into that map here. Look at this. So this is the bathymetric one with all this. So there's a huge deep channel here. It looks like that blue there is deep, and then that whole ring is shallow. So it does look like there was a. It looks like they were connected, right?
Yeah,
At one point. I mean,
I don't think they quite were, but yeah. I know
let's remember to go down here when you take your water, when we change the water levels, because that's already very interesting how close it is. Especially if this was pushed over, like if this all was, over there at some point. And then look at that. So there's that shift, but in the Pacific, not the Atlantic. Look at that. How it looks like somebody just took that and shifted it right over.
Did that take a long time or did that happen catastrophically?
Yeah. And then let's take a look at the Atlantic ridge there. Oh, look at it. See now, look at it. So much more pronounced with these colors, right? So here's the Azores. There's the part I was talking about below at the below one. So this ridge looks like it was over here and it got shifted right over. And I mean, who knows if that really happened, but that sure is what it looks like. And then it got shifted over here. So it used to be attached to Iceland. That ridge went down from Iceland all the way, and then it just, whoops. And then it just shifted over east. I wonder how far that is. So if you were to, I'm going to have to move the cat off my desk here. She knows that I'm going to give her attention, so she's scratching the screen. I thought there was a scale here. I can't tell how far it is. Yeah, I'd have to go back to this one, for example, and see. This one has a scale on it. So 2000. Okay, so there's the scale there. So if we go over to here, yeah, see, this doesn't look good already. So it's probably 500 kilometers wide, I would say, that break.
500 kilometers?
That one's probably 300 up there. So 300 to 500.
So if I put this at 0, it's set. That's current conditions.
So that's kind of like the Google map I was just showing.
This should be identical to the Google map you're just showing.
It kind of doesn't show the continental shelves.
There's little islands out there, eh?
Oh, yeah, it's crazy, eh?
Above water.
Yeah.
Right now. Right before that real trench.
And they're not even, I don't even think they're, oh, they are Central Islands, they're called.
Through the Drake Passage. The Central Islands?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just a standard map, do you think?
Yeah, it must be. It looks like it.
Would that make sense?
Why do you ask?
Well, that's 2,500 kilometers. So if Hudson's Bay used to be the North Pole, it would have moved 2,500 kilometers.
Okay.
And the interesting thing for that is that if you go down to the opposite side of the world, which should be around here someplace, So there we go. Now I can measure the whole thing from here. So for this, the point being that for the South Pole to have moved 2,500 kilometers, it'd still be on Antarctica.
Australia. Do you know where it is right now?
Well, I'm assuming it's the bottom of this, not magnetic north, but
magnetic south or just regular south?
It's geographic South Pole. I'm assuming is the line at the bottom of the screen. How do I get out of here now? What am I doing? I'm measuring all over the place. There's that other thing. Now let me see if I can pull up. Because Google Earth doesn't really show you the South Pole. Or any of that kind of stuff either. If it does, I haven't figured out. I can't even get it.
No, it does the same thing. It stops on a line and goes all, and it's so weird because it just looks like the whole South is covered in Antarctica. It's not very easy to picture as a globe. It looks so much bigger than the rest of the world.
Yeah, let's see if I can. That's a puzzle. I mean, it gets hard to show both of them at the same point. So here's an image that shows the North Pole, the current North Pole. Whoa, what did I do? Oh, there they are. There they both are right here.
Actually, if you go back, the other map was probably a little easier to read.
And this one?
Yeah,
Or
if you,
did it show
right beside it was another one.
this one shows both, which
Yeah.
is
Okay.
nice. So the South Pole is right there right now. So if you look at the size of Antarctica compared to I would maintain that the pole moved, it's almost nothing, right? So if this one goes this way, then this one goes this way.
Yeah.
So okay, so let me see. This is the picture you were talking
Oh,
about?
to the left, it just says the poles. Yeah, that might
Oh yeah, okay.
just have some more. It just seems a little more.
Oops,
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. Let me open that another tab so I can zoom in on it properly. What's going on? Kind of got blurry, but yeah, so that's the same thing. So that's where that is right there to there. Those are not to scale though.
Well, I mean, maybe you should talk about your. Well, maybe this is more to scale than the other one. I mean,
Well,
this
it could be. It's hard to know,
it
right?
looks a little more. They have the meridian lines and stuff on it. So what's your talk about your theory then? What is your theory? Because this is a good view. So there's Hudson's Bay down there, right? There you go.
Yeah, my theory is that Hudson's Bay, or maybe not exactly Hudson's Bay. Let me see if I can find here the what is it, the Laurentide
Yeah.
ice sheet
Yeah.
map. Let's see if we can find the center.
How far did it go? Like in miles? You're saying 2,500 miles?
No, I don't think it's gone about half that. So it's gone 1,200 miles,
Okay.
kilometers, 1,200
1,200
kilometers.
kilometers in 125 years.
Yeah, there's another picture here where you can
Oh,
see
so
it.
that's an average of 100 every 10 years.
And so here's your geographic North Pole, right? Here's a good
Oh,
image right here, actually. It's going to get blurry on us a little bit, but here's the geographic North Pole. Here's one that goes all the way back to 1831 when it's right here.
wow, which really shows it accelerating, it looks like.
Seems to be accelerating.
So where's Hudson's Bay on this map then?
This
Right.
map doesn't show it, but if we go to this map, if I just take that, so all I'm doing is saying, okay, well, if I continue this line straight down, it's got a little squiggle here, but it's pretty easy to look at this and say, hey, it's going in a clear direction, right? It's not fucking jiddly jally me and all over the place. It's heading north, past north now. So is it just correcting? Is that the question? Is it now going to slow down, decelerate? Is the magnetic north self-correcting to where the new geographic north is?
Did it
Or
just overshoot it and now it's gonna slow down and kind of go around like this almost and maybe end up
because
kind of
my concern is wherever it goes is where what follows what.
so is it are you
So
saying that
right now, if I'm because what I'm going to maintain is that if I follow this line straight down, it's right through this sort of channel beside this little lizard looking lake.
yeah.
If we go over to this one and zoom in a touch, there's the island. So this must be the lizard looking thing, right? I got to zoom out so I'm
Yeah. Yep, that's it. Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
that's
it's gonna
coming
come
down
to the western edge of it's gonna come to the western edge of Hudson's Bay, basically.
right
Straight
here. So it's
right there.
basically you could call it right on this coastline of Hudson's Bay is where magnetic north seems to be coming from.
So what you're saying is that the magnetic pole was down at some point at the center of the Laurentide ice sheet, and now it happens to be, and that ice sheet's gone now. And it
Or it's
happens,
just a coincidence, but it seems to be coming from where the center of the ice sheet was, right? When we look
which
at
is
it,
basically what's interesting about that is that it melted in the younger dryas fairly quickly. They think it flooded everywhere, and the point is now the magnetic thing is migrating back up north. And what you're saying is that it may be that this ice sheet will follow where magnetic north is if it's over land.
yes. How do I do this? I was trying to pull them up side by side. but I've made a huge mess here. So there's the ice sheet, and there's the magnetic thing. I mean, I wish I could make one translucent,
Yeah,
to just
yeah.
pull it right over the other, but I mean, it sure looks to me coming past Greenland, past all these islands here, down over these little ones, probably from right here. I mean, that's pretty much, if anything, maybe a little north of here, but somewhere in here is where magnetic north seems to be coming from.
Yeah.
Which is also the center of the ice sheet that I think the only way you can make the ice sheet is by having it at the pole. Period.
At the magnetic pole or
At the
the real?
geographic pole.
So you think that maybe, and that's the key to
It's
this whole thing.
evidenced by the only ice sheet on the planet right now is at the geographic pole.
Well, Arctic and Antarctic, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but the difference is the north one's just floating on water. So it doesn't get super thick and it doesn't put any pressure on the mantle or on the crust.
It's just Arctic sea ice. That's why they call it Arctic sea ice, right? It's just
Exactly.
sea ice at the top.
It's not an ice sheet. So the glaciers, I think, were always going to melt, I guess would be the point. The other sort of ice sheet we have is the one in Greenland. That's still, it didn't, I would maintain that it didn't get much of a better deal. If my theory is correct, then when this moved from here to here, Greenland just basically went from, it probably had ice on it already. It didn't, it almost ended up in a worse position. Because if the pole was here, it would have almost been further south, but on the opposite side.
Yeah.
So now it's just come up in. So it's probably just been covered in ice and it's still
So,
covered in ice now.
and is part of the worry that the Janikov effect or whatever it's called, the Janikov effect happens because
I don't know if that. I don't know if I factor in that or not yet.
But if the North Pole and the South Pole are like this, right? Let's see, and the magnetic pole is moving, wouldn't that create an off kilter spinning effect?
Yeah.
If it went too far over, or if it went, I think the only problem with the theory or the challenge is the timing of like the 12,600 years ago when that ice sheet melted compared to the speeding up of this thing now.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can
Very recently, like it's migrated a lot in 100 and something years, and we're talking 12,000 years ago where that was there.
Oh, here's a decent little map of it on this one. Actually, can I? Is it not showing that anymore? Did I lose that? None of that shows up. That's nice. So if I copy this into here, it'll show up. There we go. So there's a magnetic meridian versus the geographic meridian.
So, I mean, isn't it maybe it's not good that we're getting closer to the match between geo and magnetic?
Well, so what I'm saying, maybe it is good. I'm not saying it's bad.
What you're saying is maybe that's why we're in such
What
a
came
actual
first?
stable climate right now.
Yeah, what came first? Is it so did the
Stable climate cause it to migrate?
I guess the question is, does magnetic north follow geographic north, or does geographic north follow magnetic north? Which we should tell by is if magnetic north stops moving. If it stops moving when it gets to the north, then it was following that. And
but it's already looks like it's gone past, so that is weird.
That's the problem. So if it keeps going onto the other side of the planet someplace, then my concern would be that that's where geographic north is going to be heading eventually. Where do you want to? So what do you want to start with? This is at 0 right now.
Well, for some reason, it defaults to when I go into the flood map, it defaults to 400 meters, which is, I guess, it's just an interesting. If you put 400 meters in, it's going to give you the sea level at 400 meters more, which is kind of scary. But I mean, just do that for the hell of it, just at a high level.
If you type 400 meters, which would be about 1,200 feet.
Yeah.
So then our
So
map starts to look like this. We get full screen with it.
yeah, so look at that. I mean, you've got half of North America left. Um, and
Yeah, 400 meters, and you keep all of the Appalachians.
yeah, and
But
some of the northern Ontario sort of yeah.
Saskatoon becomes oceanfront property. You're pretty much oceanfront property at.
No, I think I'm under there.
Oh, are you under? I
Oh,
thought
no, 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 sorry, 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 you're right, you're right. Yeah, I'm right in the middle there. Yeah, yeah, that would be yeah, Winnipeg, almost all of Manitoba's under.
except for the bottom bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't see where we could get this much water from.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Australia's almost toast too, half of that's gone. No, I think it's just in terms of a pole shift, like 1,000 feet, 1,200 feet might happen if the oceans
I
roll
think if
over the
you're doing a pole
continents. I
shift,
mean,
you got to go
all of Canada. Oh, now the Appalachians is gone, except
just
for a
little
tiny
points
little bit.
sticking out. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And Canada is almost completely submerged,
Yeah.
except
Which
for
is interesting. I thought it would have been higher than that.
I mean, I'm like probably even underwater in this scenario. That's why I said my boat might just be enough, even though it's just a little cruiser, it's just enough that it's like by now the water might just be sort of coming like the slow tsunami sort of thing, not the total destruction. It's probably just sort of waving up, but it's not going to stop. It's just going to keep coming. So you get in the boat and ride her out to the Rockies.
Yeah.
Try not to get swept back out when it starts receding. Now, for some reason,
So look at that's the corridor between the two ice sheets, I think, right there. It's kind of where
this is right here.
edges, right along Calgary there. That's the corridor
Yeah.
between the two ice sheets.
So now you get all this water washed over you while you're swinging up to here, and now all of a sudden your new position is at the pole, and you just had all this water wash up that's sort of in the process of receding, but now it's also starting to freeze and saturate the ground so that when it starts snowing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's been interesting because it's been raining a ton around here, and I was like, well, if we were heading back into glaciation, that's what would have to happen. We'd have to
Right.
get a lot more rain.
Let's do that. So minus 133 meters. And that's going to take us to like what we think it would look like before the younger, driest flood, right? So this is
So down here doesn't get as exposed as you think, unfortunately. You got about that.
what if we went into another ice age, right? Would we lose water?
The Azores.
Yeah.
And
where's
then
Easter
if we
Island?
follow these islands out, that's at 2000 though. I mean, Easter Island, is that here? No.
Yeah, I think so.
Is it?
I think so. Go scroll out to the left there. Oh, yeah.
It should be like, right around here, right?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's all. So Easter Island becomes a
these with more like the minus the let's see what this looks like at minus 150 even.
yeah.
Because there's Easter Island. You just come up with this whole string of islands. Like then from Easter Island to that next little exposed tip. Oops. Is 375 kilometers.
That's a long ways. I mean, that's a long ways. But the thing is, I think
we're going that far in their canoes.
Yeah, but I think the other thing is that also was isostatic depression, I think, as well. I think the same thing happened in the Pacific that it did to the Atlantic.
And that's why those splits were there.
And I think that there's a chance that Mu was also sunken like Atlantis was.
All right,
Let's scroll out a little bit.
We'll go to 1,000 for isostatic depression. And then you basically have island chains all the way out.
And then scroll out and see how far you can get to French Polynesia, just to the left there. Right there. That's French Polynesia.
Yeah, just more. There's a whole underwater mountain chain there. There's a town here, so that must be a tall mountain. So that's what's exposed today.
Adamstown.
And that's that must be a pointy town. Or the water must get deep fast,
Oh, that's the first. That's Pitcairn Islands. That's the first one before you hit the French Polynesia.
So the one thing that is interesting is if you look up over here at this, you don't have to take much out of here. For the, I mean, this is at 400 feet right now. 400 feet sea level rise.
Yeah.
And look at this giant connection.
Oh, you mean less 400 feet? So
yeah, less 400 feet of water than this. There would be a. I mean, you wouldn't even call it a land bridge. You know, they'd
No.
just be connected.
It's like a couple thousand kilometers.
That's connected, which comes over into here with this giant connection.
Yeah.
And you're into here, and this is all basically connected.
Right.
And this is all connected. You know, it's all connected.
But see, this is what I think is missing from the whole narrative about, oh, they used to sail way back when. Well, you didn't necessarily.
Or even if they were sailing, you know, even if they were sailing, because it'd be way easier than walking.
Yeah.
You could sail coastline the whole way.
Yeah.
You never have to be that far from shore.
Yeah.
You don't have to just go out across, you know, you could, but if you just had people following shore like they tend to, you know, especially prehistorically when you're first starting out, you could just follow shorelines and just keep getting further and further along until you're coming down this coast of America.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a fun little map.
Minus, did you say?
Plus 2 miles. He said that's what you got to assume, 2 miles of ocean level rise. Not the whole time, but briefly.
Briefly. So basically, you're in the Andes, right? Would that be the Andes there? Bolivia.
This is where they say Enoch went.
Right. And where's the other? Go somewhere else?
Andes. So you're talking about one of the only real fucking safe places in the world is the Andes in China.
Holy and holy! Look at all the China.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
And we're not allowed to go look at stuff there.
Oh, a little bit of Greenland.
A dot in Greenland.
And the Vancouver Island, like all of the Rocky Mountains is gone. All of North America is gone.
You got little chunks in Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
Outside of Salt Lake City. Here's your
Denver
Salt Lake. Denver gone, but some of the mountains outside of it are good to go.
So a little bit in Colorado.
And a little bit out here. And
wow, a little bit in California compared to up north. Even California makes it.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe. What are those? The Sierra Madres or whatever? What are those mountains?
Yeah, so he doesn't quite go this much because his new Valley of the Sun is right here and I'm almost in it. So let's put him at 2,500, see if we can get the Valley of the Sun to appear. Not quite there yet.
So what are you doing? Are you going down?
Yeah, I'm bringing it down until I can see if I can mimic Ben Davidson's new Valley of the Sun.
So now you're, oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
So he's probably in that 1,200 range.
Oh, that's fascinating. So that actually goes from Canada. That actually goes from northern West Canada, Alaska. So that's the valley, Alaska, all the way down.
He says it's basically here.
Yeah, but I mean, it does connect to Alaska all the way down to. So what was that at?
That was at 1,200 meters.
1,200 meters. So that's 3,600 feet. So 3/4 of a mile, 2/3 of a mile.
I gotta go to Google because Brave sucks. I'm seeing if I can get an image of his there's nothing super handy.
I'll search X and see if I can find
I've seen it in one of his videos though, where he showed the new Valley of the Sun. Is it in this video?
Hey everyone, so a while back I made a debunk on something called the electric universe.
See if it's in this one. I swear this is the wrong fucking guy. I can't even get to its channel. Space Weather News, the Mobile Observatory Project. He's almost at 1 million subs.
Oh, that's good.
No. I'm not going to be able to find it. That was like 5 years ago.
Now a bunch of nudists in the Glen Eden Sun Club come up.
Anyway, I was barely or just outside or barely into the new Valley of the Sun. Let's just watch this.
Forecast moderate aurora.
No, that's no good. That's not what we're looking for.
Yeah.
I'd have to find it, but basically it was like it was very similar to what the map shows here, but it was like this ring right here.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that you've kind of got it right there.
Pretty close, yeah.
So can you just mention the states there quickly? Maybe zoom in a tad, not a whole bunch, but just a tad. Okay, you got Montana, Wyoming, Utah,
Oregon, Idaho, the mountains of Washington.
Yeah.
Nevada does pretty well, except for Vegas.
And then New
California
Mexico.
is a whole lot smaller.
Yeah. New Mexico.
New Mexico is mostly okay. Arizona, mostly okay, except for the cities. I mean, this might not be so bad. Colorado's almost fully intact. It becomes coastal.
Interesting how the focus on being in Colorado. I guess that's why it's got a pretty good standard high elevation.
How much water? Will it tell me? Ooh, I'm under 344 meters of water.
1,000 feet of water. Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And you're, let's see how much water you're under. Where are you, about here?
Down a bit, right there. Yeah. Say right there. Yeah.
571 meters of water. So you're really only 200 meters lower than me.